the young, and the restless spoilers. Audra Charles had always been a formidable force in the world of corporate business, but when Victor Newman, one of the most powerful men in Genoa City, fired her from Newman Enterprises, her life took a dark turn. The humiliation of being ousted, especially at the hands of Kyle Abbott, the man who had betrayed her, was a wound that Audra could not forgive. She was consumed by anger and a burning desire for revenge, determined to reclaim what she had lost. But in the world of corporate warfare, revenge was a dangerous game, and Audra was willing to risk it all to win. Kyle's betrayal and rise to power. It had been Kyle who exposed Audra's betrayal, catching her in the act of stealing sensitive company information. Victor, already suspicious of her, wasted no time in firing Audra, a move orchestrated by none other than Kyle himself. For Audra, the sting of Kyle's actions went beyond just a professional setback, it was personal. She had trusted him, thought they were allies, only to have him stab her in the back. Meanwhile, Kyle's star was rising. Victor had rewarded him for his loyalty by giving him more responsibilities at Glissade, one of Newman's major subsidiaries. But what Kyle didn't know was that Victor's trust was conditional. Victor was a master manipulator, and while Kyle believed he was being groomed for greater things, Victor had other plans. Glissade was a test, and Kyle was walking right into a trap. But before Victor could execute his strategy, Audra had her own plans to settle the score. Audra's ruthless plan. Audra wasn't just angry, she was vengeful. She knew she couldn't simply confront Victor and expect him to believe her. After all, in his eyes, she was nothing more than a disgraced former employee, a thief who had been rightfully dismissed. But Audra had one advantage, she knew Kyle's greatest weakness. And that weakness was his son, Harrison. Harrison Abbott, Kyle's pride and joy, was the center of his world. Audra had seen how protective Kyle was of his son, how he would do anything to keep him safe. It was an obsession, and it gave Audra the perfect leverage she needed. In her mind, there was no line she wasn't willing to cross, no act too dark. She knew the stakes were high, but if she wanted to destroy Kyle and reclaim her position at Glissade, she needed to hit him where it hurt most. Audra's plan was simple, yet chilling in its ruthlessness, she would kidnap Harrison. With Harrison under her control, she could force Kyle to step down from his position at Glissade and leave the company entirely. In exchange, she would take his place, ensuring her own return to power. It was the ultimate ultimatum, Kyle's resignation in exchange for his son's safety. The ultimate ultimatum. Audra knew that Kyle, despite his cunning and ambition, was a father first and foremost. The thought of Harrison being hurt or taken away from him would drive him to madness. Audra also knew that if she could exploit this vulnerability, Kyle would have no choice but to bend to her will. The plan was set in motion. Audra had her contacts in place, people who could make the kidnapping happen without raising suspicion. She was confident that once Harrison was taken, Kyle would crumble. He would do anything, give up his career, his ambition, just to ensure his son's safety. When Audra finally confronted Kyle, her words were cold and calculated. She didn't waste time on pleasantries or attempts at reconciliation. This was war, and she intended to win. "Kyle," she said, her voice dripping with venom, "you've taken everything from me. But now, I hold the power. If you want to see your son safe, you'll resign from Glissade immediately. I'll take your place, and you'll disappear from this company. If you don't, you'll never see Harrison again." Kyle's face drained of color. His mind raced as he processed the threat. The mere thought of Harrison being in danger was enough to make his blood boil. He knew Audra wasn't bluffing. She was capable of anything, even something as monstrous as kidnapping his son. But what could he do? If he refused her demands, Harrison's life would be at risk. If he complied, he would be abandoning his career and everything he had worked for. Kyle's dilemma. Kyle had always prided himself on his ability to navigate complex business dealings and outsmart his opponents. But this wasn't a corporate power play, this was his family, his son. And for the first time in a long time, Kyle felt powerless. His love for Harrison was so deep, so consuming, that the thought of anything happening to him filled Kyle with a terror he hadn't felt before. For a moment, Kyle considered going to Victor for help. Victor was ruthless, yes, but he had always respected family above all else. Perhaps Victor could outmaneuver Audra, bring her to justice before any harm came to Harrison. But then Kyle remembered, Victor no longer trusted Audra.